How's it going, guys? I'm Chase Lee, reporting for DallasMoviescreens.com, and I got another movie to review for you guys, and that would be Risen. Now, you know, what happens when you take a religious type of movie and you kind of spin it on its head a little bit and focus on a non-believer instead of a believer and see it through the eyes of someone that doesn't necessarily believe in the Bible and all that stuff? Well, that's what this movie is, so I found it kind of interesting. So let's get real and break this down. Now, I got to be honest with you guys. I am not a humongous fan of religious films. Not to say that there aren't some good ones, but the vast majority of them are very hollow, just terrible filmmaking, and they don't feel like anything. They just feel like this cheap vessel that was delivered to the audience. And I hate producers of most religious films because they pander to the audience that enjoys them the most, but they take advantage of you guys. And I don't like that at all, because I'm not really religious, and so I'm not the target audience. But I do appreciate a good story and the way it's told, and I think this one did just that. So let's begin. So the directing and the writing. Now, it's directed by Kevin Reynolds, and you're probably thinking, who is that guy? Well, I looked up his filmography, and he's done films such as Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, Waterworld, and The Count of Monte Cristo. And it's like, okay, this guy's got a pretty diverse catalog, and I just looked that up 20 minutes ago. But what I really appreciated about the way this was structured story-wise, and the way it was written, and the way it was directed, was that we focused on Joseph Fiennes' character, Clavius, right? Or Clavius. Something like that. He is a Roman leader, but he does not believe in Jesus. He does not believe in this, this mystical being that people keep talking about and stuff. He thinks it's fake. He doesn't understand why he has a following, why he's so powerful in Jerusalem and stuff. And so he's, he has orders to crucify him and stuff. It's the whole bit of where Jesus gets crucified, but this story focuses on the resurrection and the aftermath after that. So what happens is Jesus is crucified in this movie, and he awakens from the tomb and he leaves. And so Clavius, I'm sorry, I forgot the name, but anyways, he tries to search for the truth, and he starts questioning people that know of the Nazareth. Is that what he said? Like I said, I don't go to church, but he asked people that where is this guy at? There's no way he just got up. He was dead when I saw him. And all of his disciples and stuff, say it's he's the chosen one. He is a miracle, and he said he would come back, and he came back. And like I said, I really appreciate the story aspect of this movie the most, because Joseph Fiennes' character has the biggest character arc in the entire thing. I'm not going to tell you whether he believes at the end or not. Well, what I will tell you is it does change his perspective on humanity, because we, as people on this earth, we ask these questions all the time. Why are we here? What is our purpose? And we don't know all the answers to life. And that's what Jesus meant to these people back in the day. It was a sign of hope and a sign of goodwill and stuff, because even though I'm not religious, my stance on just being a part of the human race is be a good person. That's all you got to do. Just have a good moral compass and be a good person. That's it. And that's what Jesus kind of embodied, and he really told these disciples to spread the word. And Joseph Fiennes' character really kind of went through this transformation in the movie, and really just kind of witnessed this entire thing, took the back seat and just kind of witnessed everything as it unfolded. But I'm not going to spoil anything. Some of the cons, there were a couple of cheesy parts where I was like, not cheesy, but kind of like really corny, or just kind of really over the top. I'm just like, I'm not really buying that. But I don't spoil anything, so I don't want to tell you guys. But there were a couple of aspects where I was like, that's stretching a little too much. But overall, it's a very entertaining movie. Acting wise, Joseph Fiennes is awesome. Like, he's really good in this. He is related to Ray Fiennes, who's the guy that played Voldemort, and that will tie in just a second. But Joseph Fiennes does a really good job. I really enjoyed just his performance overall. He's very entertaining. I loved his stance in the beginning of the movie and how it ended. It was a nice, just human arc. I really liked it. And he has really good facial acting in this movie too. There's a couple scenes, I'm not even joking, like The whole movie was good. It was entertaining throughout. But there were a few scenes, particularly when he's confronting one of the guards that was supposedly guarding the tomb before Jesus left. It was a pretty powerful scene of, just believing in miracles and stuff. And I was like, oh, wow, that was some good acting. And throughout the movie, Joseph Fiennes has some really good facial acting. And I was actually really impressed by his performance. Everyone else was fine. It wasn't like a movie where I was like, oh, man, that was some Oscar-calibrated performances. But Joseph Fiennes was the one that carried the movie. Now, Tom Felton is in the movie as well. He plays Malfoy in Harry Potter, so you see the connection there. And he was fine. The guy that played basically like the Roman emperor, I think, he was fine. All the supporting cast was fine, except for the guy that was in that wine bar area with Joseph Fiennes. He was really good. Maybe the woman that played Mary Magdalene, I guess, she was fine. But everyone else was just, it was whatever. I will say this. In my years of watching religious movies, this has got to be the most accurate depiction of what Jesus actually looked like back in the day when he was recorded, in the Bible. He is actually an Arab Jew in this one. He's got some color on him, because I've always hated the fact that Hollywood loves to make Jesus look like he walked out of a Hollister ad, and he just like has these like long brown flowing hair, and he's just about as white as rice, and that's not what he was. Like, if you read the Bible, he was short, stocky, and he had some color on him. So I think this was the most accurate portrayal on what he visually looked like. And the guy that played Jesus, he was fine. He barely had any lines, actually. That's what I really liked about this story. It didn't focus on Jesus that much. It focused on this one guy in his journey, answer life's greatest questions, I guess. And that's what I appreciated. Cinematography-wise, it was good for the most part. It was actually better than most religious movies, because, like I said, most of them are just really cheap, and I don't like them at all. But this one was shot really well. I really liked most of the sets during night. But what was really interesting was the sets during the day, when it was like super bright and it was like really white on the walls. It looked like a fake set. So other than that, I liked everything else. Like, there was a couple shots I was like, ooh, that's pretty good. It's actually very intriguing. So the cinematography was very good overall, except for the daytime scenes just felt a little fake to me. Editing-wise, the movie's about an hour and 50. I got to tell you, I have been exhausted these past few days. This movie flew by. I was entertained, and that's all I ask for out of movies in general. I just want to be entertained. And I was from start to finish. And I took my mom to see this movie, and she goes to church and everything, and she actually liked this movie as well. She said it flew by and everything, so we both agreed that it had a nice pace to it. And it almost plays like a murder, not a murder, but a mystery suspense. That's what I meant. A mystery suspense kind of thriller almost. And I kind of enjoy it because, we just see this guy on this manhunt to try to go get Jesus that supposedly was either his body was kidnapped or, believing the stories of what people say when he walked out of the tomb. It was crazy. It was really good. At the beginning, though, it was kind of rough. I would say like the first 10, 15 minutes, it was kind of rough. But then after once Jesus escaped the tomb and he was on this manhunt to go get him, I was hooked. I was like, for some weird reason, it kind of clicked for me. I was like, okay, yeah, yes. So, yeah, it was a little rocky at first, but I did overall enjoy the pace because it was very entertaining, and I enjoyed watching Joseph Fiennes' character and his arc. So, listen, is this like the best movie in the world? No. Is this going to win any Oscars? No. However, in that theater, in that moment, when I was in there for an hour and 50 minutes, I can tell you that I was entertained. I enjoyed myself, and it's one of the better religious movies I've seen in quite some time. Because at this point last year, I saw Son of God. Didn't really care for that one. But I actually like this one way better than that one. And, I've liked movies like Noah and stuff. So I do like religious movies when they're done well, and when they're technically not cheap and crappy looking. So overall, I enjoyed Risen. The performance from Joseph Fiennes was really good, and there was a couple scenes of great acting, and it was just an overall intriguing story in a different perspective than what we've seen in recent religious movies. So I'm going to give Risen a B-. I think it's a pretty solid movie. If you're into these movies, this movie's not for me. I'm probably never going to see it again. My mom wants to see it again, and she's, you know, very religious, and she goes to church and stuff. So that's kind of, you know, from my perspective and my mom's perspective, we both enjoyed it. So I think you can find entertainment value out of this. And if you're not into religious movies, you're probably not going to see this. But I think it's pretty funny that this movie's coming out the same weekend as the movie The Witch. So witchcraft versus religion. It's going to be fun. So oh man, it's gonna be very interesting. So yeah, that will do it for this movie review, guys. I'm Chase Lee, reporting for DallasMovieScreenings.com. Check out that right here in the lower third. Go to that website, you'll find all my stuff, and my Twitter is @RealChaseLee, also right there. Yeah, so I'll see you guys next time for whatever I review next. I will see you guys later.